Hello YouTube friends, and welcome to Grow Money Seeds, a channel about building wealth and managing your money. In this video, I'm going to go through the basics of the ThinkorSwim platform from the brokerage TD Ameritrade. You can use this program for free and set up a paper money or demo account which will allow you to learn to trade without risking any real money. Right, let's get to it. Before I start, I just want to reiterate that this video is for people that are new to the ThinkorSwim platform. I know that this can all be a bit intimidating with new terminologies and flashing numbers, but like with all new things, there is a learning curve, and after some time you will get the hang of it. Remember, I was once there too. Okay, so let's head over to ThinkorSwim.com to download the desktop software. I will leave a description for this in the link below. Right, to download the ThinkorSwim desktop platform, navigate to the ThinkorSwim webpage, scroll down and click on ThinkorSwim desktop. Scroll down again and click on Take a Test Drive with Paper Money. In order to log in and use a Paper Money account, you need to just create an account. This is free and does not require any money to be deposited into a brokerage account. Since I have an account, I'm going to click on Yes. I have a Windows PC, so I'll be installing the 64-bit Windows version. Click here and this will initiate the download. Once it's downloaded, install the program. Now that it's installed, let's run ThinkorSwim. It's important to note that the first time you run the program, it'll take a bit longer than usual to load, as it normally installs an update. Once this update is installed, future load times are much quicker. Log in with your username and password, and just make sure you have the slider selected as Paper Money. The first screen you'll be greeted with is the home screen. This screen is hardly ever used, so let's click on the Monitor tab to close it. Personally, I like to start on the Monitor tab, as this displays my current positions. If, for some reason, you want to go back to the home screen, you can do this by clicking on the green Home Screen tab at the top of the screen. While we are looking at this section of the screen, I just want to discuss the Support and Setup tabs. The Support tab does just that. It is for support if you open a real account. If you are unsure of something, then submit a support ticket and a representative will provide you with assistance. I found that the representatives at TD Ameritrade to be very helpful, and this is a great feature being an international client. The Setup tab is next. Before we get started, there are a few default changes here that I like to change, as some default quantities can be a bit high for new traders. I'm just going to click on Setup and then Application Settings. Then click on Order Defaults. Under the Stocks menu, change the default quantity of orders to 1, and under the Options menu, change the default quantity of orders to 1. Then click Apply. Now, we're ready to go. To simplify things, I suggest dividing the screen into two, a left-hand side and a right-hand side. On the left-hand side, we have an area which displays our account balance, and below this there are widgets. Widgets are like mini programs that run within the platform. By default, there is News, Trader TV, a watch list, and a quick chart. Widgets can be removed or added as needed. On the right-hand side, this is where all the trading happens. You'll see 9 tabs near the top of the screen. Under these tabs, there are sub-tabs. For this video, we're going to look at the Monitor, Trade, Scan, Charts, and Education tabs. Let's discuss the left-hand side first. I mainly use this section of the platform for watch lists. A watch list is normally for stock positions that I have in my portfolio or results from a scan. I'm going to remove all the default widgets and then show you how to add a widget. To remove the current widgets, click on the cog icon at the bottom of the screen and clear the widgets. To add a new widget and see the available widgets, click on the plus symbol. For this example, we're going to be adding a watch list. So click on the watch list widget. There are several default watch lists. So let's add a random one as an example. Click on select watch list, lovers and losers, and then perhaps analysis upgrades. Simple as that. I can also make my own watch list. This is done by clicking on the plus sign again. Click on watch list, then select create a new watch list. Add a name for the watch list. For example, FANG stocks. I can now add my own symbols. FB for Facebook, AAPL for Apple, AMZN for Amazon, NFLX for Netflix, and GOOGL for Google. Then click Save, and my watch list is done. You will notice a small link symbol in this watch list. If I click on this, it shows different colored symbols. This is a great feature as it allows me to link a watch list to different tabs. In other words, if this watch list has a red 1 and I go to the charts tab and also give this the same colored link, I can now click on a symbol in the watch list and the chart will automatically update as it's linked to this specific watch list. I'll get back to the chart tab in a moment. Going back to the tabs on the right hand side, we're going to look at the Education tab first. TD Ameritrade offers great resources to help you understand and educate yourself about the stock market. In brief, there is an Education sub-tab, which is a great place to learn more about the stock market and how to trade. The Learning Center sub-tab is used for understanding some of the functions that the platform has to offer and explains various indicators. Each of these has a search function to quickly find what you're looking for. The next tab is the Chart tab. Before using this tab, let's make sure this is linked to our watch list, so check it has a red 1. In the Chart tab, we can visually see the price of the stock over a period of time. We can enter the symbol of the stock or select one of our linked watch lists. Let's use Facebook in this example. Select this from our watch list. Below the symbol, there is a 1Y and a 1D. This means the chart we're looking at shows the price of the stock over a year, and each candle or line represents 1 day. Timescales of charts can be adjusted by clicking on the D symbol. In this drop-down, we can select charts for different time periods. There are charts that will show you 1 day, where each candle represents a minute, all the way down to a 3-year chart, where the candles represent 1 week. Next to the D symbol, there is a cog symbol. If you click on this, you can change the chart settings. I will change a few settings that I prefer, but you can do what works for you. The first thing I like to change is the overlap volume. This will move the volume, or the number of shares traded during a period, onto my main chart. This just frees up a bit more space on the screen. The next thing I like to do is to click on the Time Axis tab and change the expansion area. I normally use a value of 20 bars to the right. This helps me visually when I look at a chart. Finally, in the Equities tab, I like to just make sure the option of Show Extended Hours Trading is selected. This means the chart will display prices of the stock outside of normal trading hours, as some stocks trade after the market closes. Then click Apply. Another important tab is the little glass beaker. ThinkorSwim has loads of indicators that can be added to a chart to help with your analysis of a chart. I'll go through some popular indicators in future videos, but let's just add some indicators now. The first one we can look at adding is a moving average. Click in the search bar and type the word simple. You'll see there's an indicator called Simple Moving Average. Double click on this and this will be added to the right under Studies. We can change the settings of an indicator by clicking on the cog next to it. You might decide to change the duration of the moving average to 20 and also change the color of the line by clicking on the color. As an example, change this to yellow so we can easily identify this indicator on our graph and then click OK. Next, I might decide to add the MACD indicator. Again, I can search for MACD in the search bar, double click on it, and it'll appear on the right under Studies. Click OK, and this will put these indicators on my chart. There is also the ability to zoom into the chart by moving our pointer onto the graph, holding down the left button, and drag the cursor to define an area which we want to zoom into. To zoom out, just click on the zoom out symbol at the bottom of the screen. Drawings can be added onto charts by clicking on the Drawing tab. This allows us to make notes or draw lines on the chart that are of interest to us, and this can be found under the Drawing tools. Finally, a useful feature is to add alerts to charts. An alert can be used at a price that might prompt an action, and these alerts are sent as an email or a notification to a phone. I may have a position on Facebook, and I want to exit the position and take a profit when the price gets to $310 a share. I just need to right-click on the chart, go down to Create Alert, type the price I want for the alert, so let's put in 310, add a note, take profit, and then click Create. Next, we have the Scan tab. This is a great tool to scan the market and find potential opportunities based on certain criteria. This scanner has limited functionality when using the paper money account, but let's build a basic scan anyway. For this example, I may want to find stocks that are priced between $20 and $500 a share. To do this, add these values to a stock filter. Add the last traded price as a minimum of $20 and $500 as the maximum. Next, I may want to add the volume of shares traded for a period. Select the stock filter, then volume, and add the range. Minimum volume will be 2 million, and I'll leave the maximum blank as the blank field will be the maximum value. I may also be interested in larger cap stocks that have a market cap of greater than $3 million. Select stock filter, then the market cap. Enter 300 million as the minimum, and I'll leave the maximum blank. After we have filled in the fields, then click on Scan, and this will give us a list of stocks that meet our criteria. If we're interested in a stock, we can actually right-click on one of them, move down to More Info, then Toss Charts, and this will bring up the chart for the stock. Scans can be saved for future use. To save the scan, go to the menu icon, click on Save Scan Query, and we'll name it Demo. This demo scan can be added to a watch list. Go back to the plus sign at the lower left of the screen. Add a new watch list, click on the watch list, go to Personal, and select Demo. You can assign this watch list with a yellow 2, and then this would link to a tab if you assign a tab with the yellow 2. The Trade tab is where we will place an order to buy shares of stock or options. If you're unsure about what options are, then these are contracts that allow you to buy or sell 100 shares of stock at a certain price by a certain date. As this video is for beginners, we're mainly going to focus on shares. Right, so let's say we've found a stock and we want to buy some shares. The underlying field shows the stock's last traded price, and a bid and an ask. The ask is for when we want to buy stock, and the bid is when we want to sell or short a stock. Move your mouse over the ask price and you'll notice a small caption that shows the word buy. Left click and this will open an order. The order field shows the details of the transaction. Here it shows the order is a buy. It's for 1 share of Facebook. The number of shares here can be changed. So let's change this to a 5. This is a limit order, or in other words, we're prepared to pay the ask price. If you want an order to be filled immediately, then you can change this to a market order, but then you won't get such a good price. The TIF stands for time and force. This means we're prepared for the transaction to be filled at our price between now and the end of the day. If it's not filled, then the order will be automatically cancelled. We will then click Confirm and Send. A final confirmation pops up, which lets us review the order and allows us to double check everything before we send the order. Once everything's fine, then click Send. When the order is filled, you will see a confirmation displayed in the upper left portion of the screen. If you trade options, then this process is much the same. Use the options chain to select which options contract you want to trade. Click on the Ask in the chain. This will bring up the order field. Check everything is correct, and then confirm and send. On a side note, if you right-click on the options chain, this will display long or short option strategies, making a trade with multiple legs much easier to execute. Once an order is filled, we will have open positions. These positions can be found under the Monitor tab. You will now see the Facebook order is reflected under the position statement. The Monitor tab will also show any working orders, filled orders, and cancelled orders. If you need to change a working order, this can be done by right-clicking on the working order and selecting the Cancel or Replace option. This will open the order and you can make changes as needed. I like to add an additional field to my current positions to track the profit and loss as a percentage. To do this, click on the cog on the right of the screen. Do a search for P&L percent. Double click and click OK. This will then show the profit and loss as a percentage for open positions. The sub-tab, Account Statement, allows us to view past orders and the profit and losses of closed positions. When closing a position, I like to do this from the Monitor tab and not the Trade tab, as I don't need then to remember how many shares I have in a position. When you're ready to close a position, I click on the arrow next to the symbol, and this shows the trade details. If we take the Facebook position, you will notice it shows 5 contracts. Right-click on this and select Create Closing Order. This will automatically open an order entry under the Trade tab. It shows the order is a sell. It's for 5 shares. It's a limit order or bid price, and the time and force is the day. For this example, let's change this to a market order. Click Confirm and Send. Double check the order and click Send. When the order is filled, a notification is displayed again at the top of the screen. Okay, so this brings us to the end of this tutorial. But remember, if you need additional help, use the Education tab and take your time learning about the platform. I hope you found this video useful, and I can encourage you to rewatch this video as many times as needed. Remember to practice using the software with paper money until you become comfortable, and only then start trading with real money. Please also don't forget to click the subscribe and like buttons so that you are notified when future videos are released. This will help my channel to grow and hopefully help others to achieve their financial goals. Thanks for watching.